So the next morning in our 8 o'clock meeting, there he was. And the boy that was there, Elder, old Smoke City down here, I can't think of his name, his companion was going home, so it sent Elder Jeppson, this tall elder, over to take his place. And we used to meet it every morning in the hall at 8 o'clock and have a preparation meeting. Because a lot of us had never studied the scriptures before, so we had to study scriptures. So we would study for quite a while, and President Jensen did something that led to these later things that put out to the missionaries. He wrote up a sermon with all the topic. First topic I think we studied was the Godhead, and then all the pertinent scriptures to that. It was written in the form of an outline.
That was good.
Very good. So as you were speaking, you glance down, you'd see what comes next, and you develop the theme. And he had it so well thought out that it was all correlated beautifully. And you memorized the scriptures and presented them as you gave the talk. Well, at 8 o'clock when we met that first morning, this new elder and I, we were both just beginners, just starting, pretty much, and the other two were ready to come home. Della was almost ready to come home, and so was this other elder. So they were not beginners like we were, so they put us in a class by ourselves. I can't remember whether we sat by the stove or whether we sat by the table, but they sat one place and we sat another, and we studied scriptures together. And then we take turns getting up and speaking to the subject. And that was my first introduction to your father. I was working with him that way.
Sounds like a pretty good, neat introduction, a way to get acquainted.
That's right. And then we worked there for a while, and then let's think. Oh, when Stella went home, I was called over to Hamilton to work, and I worked with Doris Cook. And I didn't see Dad for quite a long time after that, but because he'd taken me on the Indian reservation, he worked out there. And then after a while, they made him conference president. And the conference president used to travel around among the missionaries, and he'd work with each group, each set of male missionaries, you know. He would go out with these missionaries one at a time and kind of work with them to see how they were doing. Well, that's the kind of work Dad did. He was a conference president, and he kind of supervised the whole thing, the lady missionaries too. But anyway, then we worked in Hamilton quite a long time, and I get to see him quite often because he was conference president. He came around periodically, you know, to visit. So I got him to know, got to do well. And I liked him, and apparently he liked me. And I guess you want to hear the rest of it?
Sure. Of course.
When I got ready to come home, we used to take a trunk instead of a suitcase like they do now. Took a trunk, and my trunk had been moved so many times, but this time that the till was all kind of coming apart. And one morning in this early morning class, I said to one of the elders, or I said to the
till,
elders,
that's a little special drawer that sits in the top of the trunk,
yes,
isn't it?
that's right. Yes, that's what that is. So I said to the elders, I said, they asked me how I was coming along with my packing meter to come home, and I said, I'm having a little trouble. That till of mine is all kind of coming to pieces. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. And I never thought any more about it. Well, on a Saturday morning, but this time I was breaking in two new lady missionaries, Elva Bennion and Sister Prince from southern Utah, getting ready to take over. And we'd been working together then for about maybe 3 or 4 more weeks. And this morning they wanted to go to downtown to do some shopping. And I was getting ready to come home because I was going to leave about Monday morning. And so I remember I was ironing, getting ready to come home. And a knock came at the door. And I went to the door, and there stood Dad. And he had a hammer in his hand and some nails or something tacks. He said, I've come to fix the till of your trunk. So I said, well, come right in. So he come in, the trunk was there, and he took the till out, and he went to work on it. And he hammered and nailed and fixed it up. They did a good job. When he got through, I went right on my work. When he got through, he sat down on the trunk. And he said, he asked me if I'd write to him. And I said, yes, I can't see a reason why not.
You really played it cool.
Yes, I said, I'll write to you. And then he said, I want to ask you another favor of you. He said, when you get to Salt Lake, we had to come back to Salt Lake to report. He said, when you get to Salt Lake, will you go and meet my folks? He said, I'll give you their address, and I'll let them know you're coming, but I want you to go meet them. He said, I have a very good reason for wanting you to meet them. Someday I hope you'll mean an awful lot more to me than you do today.
Really, Mom?
And so I stood there with my mouth open, my tongue hanging out. And but I promised him I'd come meet his folks. And in the morning I left. There was quite a nice group that came down to the railroad station to see me off. I've got a picture of that, by the way.
Do you?
Yeah. And Elva Bennion kidded me about that always after that. She said, that morning, she said, did you know that you walked here down to the end of the something with Elder Jeppson that morning? I said, well, it was the platform, the railroad train platform. You know, they're not very long. You know, that wood platform. And Dad said to me, I want you to come walk with me for a minute. And so we walked down to the end of the platform and back. And I don't think it was any farther up to over Bruce's house. And here, well, Elva, I don't know, that stuck in her craw. She didn't think we should have done that.
Oh, really?
She kidded me about that, many times after that. When we got home, we worked together in this society. Anyway, I did what he asked me to. When I got home, I went to meet his parents, and I went up to the University of Utah with Wilma because she was going to summer school.
That was his sister.
Yes.
Uh-huh. You hit it off with her right away.
Very much.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, very much. And spent most of the day. I spent the night. I went there on Sunday afternoon. I spent all night, and the most part of Monday up to the university. And when I came back, I took the streetcar out to Centerville. But I got to meet his folks anyway.
Uh-huh.
And
who did you stay with out in Centerville?
Grandma. My grandmother lived there, mother's mother.
My great-grandmother Smith.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I stayed.
Huh.
And then in a few days went home.